So it's 4 games EU, 3 games US East. Daniel, you get to choose the order. He says 2 EU, 2 US, 2 EU, 2 US, which I think is just the complete opposite of what... I think that's just the complete opposite of what Zen chose the first time that Daniel played Zen, isn't it? I usually give the winner to blue team, but I feel like since Daniel's on his away server here, I'll give it to him 1-0 to V1 Daniel. The recently announced V1 Daniel. Very exciting stuff. We could talk about that a little bit this stream if you guys want to. So, 2 games on the European servers. Mawkzy coming in with a good bit of momentum. He's pretty hot and cold as usual recently, with a massive win over Ruas, but I think he also has losses recently as well. Most notably to Drally, who's making a bit of a comeback. Well, let's see how he goes on the home server against Daniel. Last time the two played on my channel, we didn't do a best of series, we did a set of matches, so we just did a guaranteed 4-game, well actually it could have been 6. We did a best of 3 in EU followed by a best of 3 on NA or vice versa, and they both perfectly defended their server. So I'm expecting to not see too many breaks of server here. 1 break of server could be massive. These two tend to be quite strong against each other when they're on their home server. Mawkzy's flick is pretty undefendable for anyone in the world at the moment. We'll see if Daniel can conjure up some kind of counter strategy. So far we've got a flick goal for Mawkzy and now a flip reset as well to go up 2-0. Ping test already completed. I'm sorry to say for Daniel fans, this is game 1. But it's not really a terrible situation for Daniel at all. You know, similar to Zen most of the time that Daniel's played him. Actually, one of the first time Daniel played him. Similar to the Vatira series. You know, Daniel's just trying to get his teeth into the series here. He doesn't really need to win straight off the bat. Mawkzy spots Daniel's early challenge coming. This is something he did really well against Ruas when they recently played. You've got to be so careful when Mawkzy has the ball bouncing on top of his Caratal. He's so good at seeing you coming. More than any of the other top players in the world right now, Mawkzy has that little camera flick left-right. He didn't do it there, but he flicks his camera left and right to see around the ball very often. It really gives him good vision of his opponents challenging him. So Daniel on the board. Shuts down the double reset from the Frenchman. Someone asking a minute ago, how's my voice? So yeah, it's pretty good. I was doing a ton of talking over the weekend, you know, 9-10 hour streams, but actually I don't know if it's 10 hour stream, probably like 8 or 9, shall we say. Talking non-stop, yeah, definitely sounded a bit ragged by the end of it, but nah, feeling good. Just a wee 2-hour stream today with Daniel against Mawkzy, followed by Daniel against Zen. The trilogy between those two. Daniel misses the long range open net, but it's fine because a double tap from this range is just as simple for a player like Daniel. Mawkzy not up quickly enough. Had to watch helplessly as Daniel doubled it into the bottom corner. What's the announcement that you guys are talking about in chat right now? Everybody's saying that there's like some kind of roster announcement or roster rumor happening right now in the timeline. I've not looked at Twitter in the past hour, so I'm not sure what you guys are on about. Koi might take Sosa and Cheese. Okay, interesting. So are they just going to rebuild, basically? They're just going to make a completely brand new roster instead of sticking with their current roster. It's another post from Daniel. Another very good position he's got for himself. But look at the composure of Mawkzy. Good read, knowing that the shot from Daniel was hitting the inside of the post there. And they keep gyro. Interesting. So I wonder if that means that Aqua has been sniped. Yes, I can already hear you all saying, what do you mean, Aqua? Like, for the first time Shogun and I casted Aqua in RLCS, everyone is saying, or not everyone, but a lot of the chat, and you know, most notably the NA viewers, are all saying, what are Shogun and Johnny doing? Did nobody teach these guys how to say Aqua in school? Because that's like remember the other day I was talking about how there are 2 different ways to say or in America? Yeah, in the UK I'm not really familiar with that, so we just say Aqua. always have said Aqua. But you guys say Aqua or something. I'd say that's a little bit awkward, but you guys do what you gotta do. Yeah, if you hear... Oh, what a save by Daniel. If you hear a UK caster saying Aqua, that's because that's how it's pronounced over here. Simple as that. Good follow-up shot by Mawkzy here. Phenomenal recovery off the inside of the post, but look at the tight turn. Perfect run up for that ball. It's it's something that's often underrated, just being able to tightly turn close to the ball with speed. Such an important aspect of 1v1, such an important aspect of Rocket League in general, especially when you're trying to rank up through the lower ranks. The amount of free goals you will get if you can just simply turn more quickly than your opponents realize, you will be amazed. So that's something you should really be grinding if you're trying to get better at the game. And you could do it off the kickoff, there's the ball spawning in the center of the pitch in free play. It's a really good drill I would recommend for you guys to do if you're not very good at turning quickly and just snapping a shot on target immediately from distance. Great bump by Mawkzy. He's just dominating the end of this game. Well, it's not even the end yet. Middle of the game's completely gone his way though. Yeah, be sure to try it yourself if you're looking to get better at turning. Just get into free play, and instead of just hitting the ball straight off the spawn, because usually what people tend to do in free play is they just speed flip towards the ball or flip towards the ball, then boom it towards the wall and then try and rebound it. You know, that's like a good thing to practice as well, of course, to help you improve your reads. But very important as well to just do a quick power slide turn around the ball and see if you can nail the shot into one of the goals with as much power as possible, with as little of a run up as possible. Very, very important skill to have. Mawkzy bails out of the sidewall read after realizing it's going all wrong. Daniel's trying to press at the end of the game here, not giving up yet, but he might actually after this goal. He was looking to get shots off before Mawkzy got into close quarters, couldn't do it. Ball wouldn't sit nicely for him. Mawkzy scores again. Mawkzy's form against the top players in this tournament has been so impressive recently. The only player he's really struggled with consistently as of late is Zen. Zen has 2 wins in a row against Mawkzy, and you know he's got 2 wins in a row against Daniel as well, so we're going to see the Zen Mawkzy trilogy tomorrow. We'll see the Zen Daniel trilogy today as they both look to get their first win against the most hyped player in the Rocket League world right now. But Mawkzy and Daniel do both have 2 wins in their most recent matches against Rawas, who has beaten Zen the last 2 times that they played. So it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors situation between all the players in this tournament. And the real, I think, player who's benefited the most from that... Oh, Mawkzy misses the no-look double. I think the player who's benefited the most from Mawkzy beating Rawas in this tournament last weekend was actually Zen, believe it or not. Because before then it was pretty clear that Zen was a number 2 in the world and that Rawas was just clearly number 1. And now the fact that Mawkzy's come in and beaten him, not just once but twice in a row, it kind of shows that it might be more of a play style counter that Rawas has on Zen and not actually just a clear best player in the world. So it's up in the air for now. I think, you know, winner of this tournament will establish themselves as number 1 in the world for 1v1, and I don't think there will be anybody debating that fact. I'll have to wait and see though. So we'll be staying on this server for one more game. Mawkzy takes the opener against Daniel. This one got a bit out of control though. You've got to remember, you know, in 1v1 at the very highest level, when a player goes up by, you know, 3 goals is usually the turning point. The opponent is kind of forced to take risks, and you might just see that score gap open up to 4, 5, 6. You know, it can just as easily increase as it can decrease, and it definitely increased there. Daniel had to take risks because Mawkzy was playing extremely well and managed to build a little lead for himself. That's a really risky play there by Daniel. He wasn't forced to take that risk. Mawkzy definitely made a mistake here, kind of tripping on the posts, and Daniel underestimated how quickly Mawkzy was going to recover. Definitely not a necessary dive on that play. Okay, Daniel should be able to seal this boost away. Indeed he does. Keeps his composure as he's being bumped into the back corner. He's just trying to keep the ball nice and high here. Back Mawkzy up. And then sets up a boost steal at the other side of the box as well. Mawkzy down to 6 boost. Daniel doing a great job keeping Mawkzy stuck in the mud here. Not so good of a job with that last shot though. Mawkzy did not have a hard time saving that one. Still control though for Daniel. He does not spot Mawkzy's early challenge, and now, just like that, we have a possession for Mawkzy. That was off the back of a very strong position for Daniel. So Mawkzy's going to be pretty happy with himself here to just even get back into the midfield after being stuck in his goal for a good 20 seconds. Mawkzy double jump, staying well clear of any potential bump from the American. Either a bailed flick or a fake flick there from Daniel. Can't really be sure which, because faking a flick there is, you know, a good idea early in the game to see how Mawkzy reacts, but seeing how the ball sat on his car, I wouldn't be surprised if he intended to flick that and then just decided not to because it wasn't sitting perfectly. Mawkzy steals the boost away from mid. Very low scoring game here. Daniel has had chances. Mawkzy has been incredibly impressive. Pre-flip from Daniel, not going to get there. Mawkzy's up by 2. Daniel did not see that bump coming. Mawkzy chipped it middle and then immediately looked for Daniel. Look at that positioning from Mawkzy. To know where Daniel is as he chips the ball middle is very impressive there. Daniel did not spot that bump that Mawkzy was looking for. Yeah, Mawkzy making 3 again. Pressure on the American. Mawkzy has slotted a flip reset to make it 3-0. He's really got the full package today. Aerial offense is firing in all cylinders. The ground plays on. I mean, he's already flicked the ball top bins. That's all you need to see from Mawkzy to know that he's on his game. But most impressively, I think in game 2, his defense, his composure, while Daniel was circling the box, stealing boosts away multiple times, and looking for opportunities to fake out Mawkzy. Mawkzy just held his nerve throughout every single one of them. And again, Daniel trying to fake out Mawkzy, hoping the Mawkzy will dive too high with the challenge. Mawkzy just goes straight for the ball, ignoring Daniel's fake. Early pre-jump by Mawkzy. Daniel slow-mo air dribble. Runs out of boost before he can get that important last touch. Mawkzy once again has a read on Daniel's setup. What a run he's on in this tournament. He's won 4 of his last 5 games against Ruas. Of course, I'm talking games, not series. And now he's about to go 2 in a row against Daniel. Mawkzy about to make it 4 here. Daniel with a rare mess up on his aerial approach. And this is just not what he needs right now. You know, I said he doesn't have to start off strong here with a game win. He doesn't necessarily need a win at this stage, but he does need to figure out a winning strategy at this stage. If he loses this game, then suddenly Mawkzy's in with a chance of breaking server with momentum on his side. And really, there's nothing going for Daniel right now. 8-2 loss in game 1, 4-0 down in the second game. I mean, he's not really established winning strategy at either side of the pitch. As Mawkzy continues to dominate the midfield, another flip reset is sunk by Mawkzy. He is unstoppable. Don't forget, Ruas looked just as impressive as Mawkzy does right now in his matchup against Mawkzy. Ruas versus Mawkzy started off ridiculously strong for the Saudi Arabian before Mawkzy was able to turn it around. Daniel's been in these situations many times. He knows how to dig deep and come back in a series. Can he first of all get a goal? Not quite. Mawkzy with yet another save, and I think Daniel's own goal. Oh no, he's overhit the retreat and Mawkzy's up by 6. It's all gone wrong for Daniel. I mean, that wasn't a bad shot, but how about Mawkzy deflecting the ball into the crossbar? Daniel being forced to the limit here. He wanted nothing but a bar down shot there, and he got a bar down into Mawkzy's shot instead. You know, one thing I have liked from Daniel is the urgency at the end of these games. When he's gone down 5 goals with just over a minute left, you can clearly see that he's just launching into every attack. Oh my goodness, speaking of launching, Mawkzy has absolutely annihilated the crossbar of this flick, and he's there to read the downward bounce. 7-0 and a go next from Daniel. So that's GG. We're going to go to US servers for the next game, but Daniel is in a world of trouble in EU. So this will be a quick ping test before we get into the game. Mawkzy might run it, I'm not sure. He says bad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can get green ping, yellow. Disgusting there from Mawkzy. Doesn't want to see that. The ping, I think Daniel had 84 in the last game. Was it 84 or 92? I actually can't remember. It was 80 or 90. That'll be a lead. That's a 120. That's about the worst you can get. 94. Okay. Yeah, Daniel usually gets about 90 ping on EU. Mawkzy similar on US East. Most of the servers are good, so okay. I'll just say I'll say go so they know it's 100% a game and not a test. Mawkzy dominates the first 2 games on European servers. Now we switch to Daniel's home turf. Now this is must win for the American. He's got another couple tries in games 5 and 6. Must win at least one of those. You really feel like he has to win both of these. If he loses one of these games on the US servers, his confidence is going to be massively tested, because Mawkzy would go back over to Europe with 2 match points on EU servers, and then even another match point on US servers after that. That would be a terrible situation for Daniel to be in. Oh my goodness. How has Mawkzy created a goal here? That is just disrespectful. Daniel gets right behind the ball. Mawkzy just jumps into it. Manages to awkwardly force it into the middle while even tapping Daniel, who was trying to stay goal side the entire time. That's a surprisingly difficult to deal with play. I mean, for Mawkzy's POV, it really didn't look like he had any business doing that. But when we switched to Daniel's POV, you can see it actually wasn't easy for Daniel to punish that one. Being, 90 degrees to the ball, sitting on the wall, just hoping that Mawkzy's going to leave him. And Mawkzy's been like a rash this game. Daniel cannot get rid of him. He's everywhere Daniel doesn't want him to be. Oh, that's an exceptional touch by Mawkzy there. Just making it very difficult for Daniel to get an immediate shot off. This enables Mawkzy to likely get a counter-attack off the back of this, because he's got a big boost advantage. And there it is. Counter-attack commences, and it's a boom. It's in. 3-0. And Mawkzy's flicks might just be as difficult to save on the US server. He jumps barely inside the halfway line and rips it top bins. Really only Lion Blaze is doing that in the US server these days with this consistency. And I mean, even Lion Blaze not quite as consistently ridiculous as Mawkzy when it comes to the flick game. Daniel, half of a chance there. Skies the shot. Mawkzy actually looking for a double tap redirect off his own backboard. Doesn't get it. Daniel open to scoring for him. Very good first touch there by Daniel. Didn't need a run up at that, because he got the first touch to go right exactly where he wanted. J Finesse, thanks to the Prime. Also Hoffy18, thanks to the Prime. Bruno226, thanks to the 17-month Tier 1. All of you are tuning in for the 1v1s today, welcome to the stream. If you're with us over the weekend view partying RLCS, welcome back. If not, then it's good to have you. Lovely control by Daniel. Doubles up in game 3. Just dinks it past Mawkzy at the near post and takes his time to flick it over him as Mawkzy panics on the goal line. Now, as you can see, Daniel's still absolutely got his head in the game here. This is a much better takeoff by Daniel. Massive shot into the top corner. Mawkzy got a piece of it, but not enough. How about that from Daniel? Flip reset at the halfway line, pre-flips it. Almost straight at Mawkzy, but it really isn't an easy shot to save there, even though Mawkzy's in the area. The acceleration on the ball is always so impressive when Daniel's in the air. He's trying to get this one up into the air as well. How about this? Not an easy one to lift up and over the top of his opponent. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Mawkzy is just different with the composure. Daniel with multiple fake challenges, multiple pre-jumps, trying to get Mawkzy to flick the ball into him. Mawkzy just pops it over his head as he lands. We saw hints of this when Mawkzy played Roas recently. He really does not give a monkeys about your fake challenges these days. His ability to spot which ones are real and which ones are fake seems to be on a different level than Mawkzy in the past. Daniel helpless as the ball Softly went over him as again Mawkzy goes right past Daniel. Lovely catch and a 5th goal. Daniel is in deep water now. The timing for Mawkzy has just been too good today. You know, Jack said multiple times, I've heard apparently Jack say multiple times that when Mawkzy is on, he just thinks that this guy's unbeatable. And you know, in some ways I totally agree, because although his aerial game is, you know, not quite as good as players like Zen, players like Daniel, it's definitely up there. It's more than enough to be a threat. You know, regardless of who he's playing against. No one likes to see Mawkzy coming at you with a reset, but it's the ground game. He is just disgusting. I mean, it's not even, I think, a debate right now that Mawkzy, with the ground game, is #1 in the world. He's just unbelievable. His flicks are different. His challenges are different. His ability to read his opponent, whether they're faking. His ability not just to read his opponent, but to see his opponent using his little flicks of the camera. I think that's what puts him at such a high level right now. And he is locked in. 7-3. Daniel is in massive trouble. Wait, how did we get ads? Okay, this is a joke. Hold on. How do we get ads? This is so cringe. I can't even apologize to viewers who just got an ad break, but for those of you who do come back and watch the VOD, if you got an ad break right now, then I don't know why that's happening. Because I keep turning off, like, my ad manager on Twitch, I turn it off, and then I come back on another day, it's on again randomly. Like, I feel like it just goes on randomly some days. Can you guys remind me after this game to like spam ads before we start Daniel versus Zen, so that this absolutely can't happen? Although that, not even that worked in the final day of RLCS. I ran ads before the final and we still got ads during the final. I don't know what is going on, but I'll have to look into that after this game. I'm not even looking at my dashboard, so I don't have a warning this is happening. Yeah, I'll repeat all that in a minute or so when people are back, because yeah, I know I don't want that to be happening. The good news is that when, you know, if people left us for an accidental ad break there, and they're wondering if when they come back the game's over, well, Daniel's started a little bit of a comeback there. You joined in your phone and got 4 more ads. Oh no, rip that guy. He like got ads on his PC, went on the mobile phone, got even more. Yeah, the thing about like starting any Twitch stream is you get pre-roll ads. So anytime you click on a new Twitch stream, you might just get ads because you've joined the stream. Oh, that's amazing by Daniel. You know, I said Mawkzy's reading him at a very high level today, so for Daniel to fake him out is very impressive. What a catch that is. Faked an air roll shot that backed up Mawkzy, and the catch and flicker into the top left gives Daniel a chance to come back late in the game. And yeah, I need to get some Edge 1 of 80 emote like Rizzo's got. Mawkzy, too consistent, too good. Despite Daniel's best efforts, he continues to trail. It's a perfect touch by Mawkzy, lobbing the ball up in the air for himself, giving himself time to grab boost and then slam the wall shot into the open net. Yeah, you don't get ads if you're subbed. That's true. If you're subbed to a Twitch stream, you don't get ads on that Twitch stream. You still get ads on streams you're not subbed to. But yeah, you don't get ads if you're subbed. Is there still like Twitch Turbo, or whatever it's called? I don't know what it's called these days. There used to be something called Twitch Turbo where you could avoid ads on all streams. There is. Is it still called Twitch Turbo? I've never used it myself, but I'm pretty sure Twitch Turbo is like it's like a 0 ads for all streams. Type 1 if that's right. Is that true? So yeah, if you subscribe to a streamer, you're obviously supporting the streamer and avoiding ads on their channel alone. But Twitch Turbo, I think you avoid ads on all channels. Yeah, chat's saying that this is the case. But yeah, if you did, sorry for repeating this, but I want to make sure everybody hears it. If they were stuck in an ad break earlier, yeah, I'm just gonna have to like spam ads during the breaks. They keep happening in the middle of games, even though I've manually ran them earlier to try and prevent exactly that. So yeah, my apologies. I don't know why it keeps happening. I'm just not like, you'd think I'd have figured it all out by now as a full-time streamer, but I just don't have a clue. I just don't have a clue. Anytime some new Twitch feature comes along, I just don't know how it works. Here we go with Game 4. I've just checked my dashboard and it says that there will be no pre-roll ads for 29 minutes, so unless this game takes 30 minutes, I guess that means we're going to be fine. We should be fine for this game, unless we get the longest overtime in Rocket League history. I think we're good. And already Daniel slots a banger. Important that he doesn't allow Mawkzy to get a grasp of this series. It really just seems like Mawkzy's got that aura of inevitability about him today. Oh my goodness, he just isn't stoppable, is he? This is so insane. Daniel's just waiting this time. He's like, alright then, let's see if he can flick it top bins every time. Oh yeah, he can. Okay, fair enough. He actually just can flick it top bins every time. But yeah, if you guys have been watching North American RLCS all split long, every time FaZe have played in another, versus another NA team, it just seems inevitable that they're going to win. I don't know why. It just seems like no one has a chance of scoring against them. 1-0 leads look like 3-0. 2-0 leads look like 5-0. 3 minutes left and the clock feels like 1 minute. You know, it just doesn't feel like there's much of a comeback available for anyone. That's how Mawkzy's felt today. You know, when he's up by 2 or 3, it just looks so hard to come back. Oh my goodness, he's just different. He is just absolutely different today. Second game of the series on US server. Daniel's pre-jump to cover high. Mawkzy just floor pinches it under him. I might have to revise my earlier statement saying that his aerial game's not at the Daniel Zen level. I mean, when he's on, he's not far off. You can't really even blame Daniel at this point. I mean, these flicks have been completely uncontestable. I don't think anyone's saving half the flicks Mawkzy's sent on Daniel's net today. As there's another one. I mean, we know where it's going, but it doesn't really help. It doesn't matter if the defender knows where the flick is going. Like Mawkzy famously said when he played against Jarius, he told him in chat, you know where it's going, why don't you just save it? Because if you do, you know, pre-jump in that direction, Mawkzy's just going to say, cool, now you're jumping for no reason, I'll just walk the ball into your net. He has full control. Daniel, oh, he nearly got one of them. I mean, this is just unstoppable. Mawkzy is flicking every single ball right over Daniel's left shoulder. But the pace is undeniable. The shots are just unstoppable. The momentum he has built up for himself currently has him as the favorite to win the group. This is ridiculous. Even if we do go to a massive four-way tie at the end of today, Mawkzy is going to be top of the group because he is looking at a 4-0 here against Daniel. Once again, he shows no respect to Daniel's back corner defense. And it is Daniel who's panicking quicker of the two. Mawkzy's composure has been too good today. And you know, he came into this tournament as the lowest ranked of the 4 players. He's about to get his second upset in a row here. And he's making it look easy. You are joking. He nearly lobbed a slow-mo flip reset flick over Daniel. That was so painful because Daniel's just floating under the ball, hoping against all hope that he gets a touch on it. Merciless Mawkzy massacring Daniel here. And Daniel's not done. Finally stops the momentum with another flip reset flick mid-air. This has always been the go-to for Daniel when he's in trouble, when he needs goals, or when he's in the zone. It's the flip resets that get him goals. And they have again here. Daniel with a kickoff goal makes it a 3-goal game. Look at how much time we've got left. Just inside 3 minutes, Daniel starts to mount the comeback. He needs to be perfect from here on. He needs to defend his server here and then win twice on EU. But this is the start. Daniel dives and connects. Massive challenge from Daniel. Massive mix-up from Daniel. He's retreated. He's shadowed 3 times in a row on Mawkzy's dribbles. Now he just sends it and Mawkzy doesn't see it coming. The adjustment from Daniel. Exactly what he needed here. Mawkzy. The wave dash recovery kickoff closes the bigger gap there. Looks for the pogo. Oh, what a bounce that is. Daniel manages to get goal side. That was a great bounce from Mawkzy. He was right up next to the ball again. Incredibly efficient as well. Another dive from Daniel. I mean, this is, I think, a strategy that's working a whole lot better than his passive defense did earlier. Pogo shot from Daniel denied. Mawkzy with a wide open net, takes his time, sinks it for the 7th goal. And Daniel played it a bit risky there, very close to Mawkzy when he went for the pogo shot. Usually you want to look for those when your defender's backed off a bit from you. Again, he doesn't see Mawkzy's bump coming. Daniel still has time to grab that back corner boost. Mawkzy went for the pinch instead of the back corner boost of his own. Heavy touch from Daniel, invites the challenge. Mawkzy obliges. Oh my goodness, so Daniel's missed one bump on Mawkzy. Connected the second. Mawkzy rolls with the punch and sends the ball high. But Daniel's flicks, good enough. More than good enough, in fact. This is not an easy flick to hit because you're very direct to the ball here. You need to snipe that top corner, and he does. More than winnable, 2 goals in it. Brecco, thanks to the 63-month tier 1. Welcome back to the channel. Novak, I'm CSGO, thanks to the Prime as well. Appreciate you. Now notice there Mawkzy didn't go for his reverse 45-degree flick top bins there. He actually flicked early. And why is he doing that? Is because Daniel has dove the last 2 times Mawkzy's dribbled at him. So Mawkzy has to respect that. He did respect it. Flicked early. No immediate goal. You'll get one further down the line anyway. With another demo, Daniel vulnerable here. Mawkzy could see exactly where Daniel was going to land. There was absolutely no way for Daniel to dodge it after committing to the back corner. Another wave dash recovery kickoff. Denies Daniel the possession he just so desperately needs here. Mawkzy trying to reverse dribble him here. Half flips back into control. Daniel has to fight for every single possession right now. He cannot give Mawkzy anything for free. Unfortunately, Mawkzy has been brilliant in these close quarters. Daniel shuts down Mawkzy's redirect attempt. And what else has he got in the tank? Fake challenge from Daniel. Does absolutely nothing. Another fake challenge from Daniel. Gets a little bit of a response from Mawkzy, but Mawkzy still has control. Slow-mo air dribble from point blank range. Daniel goes right through the dunk attempt. Dodges the back corner bump. Needs to score here to stay in with a chance in the series. And he does! Daniel does the Mawkzy to Mawkzy. Top bins flick to the left side. He's back within 2 with 33 seconds left. Daniel has been losing possession. Mawkzy's wave dash recovery has been too strong. Daniel does, go for that outside kickoff very, very often. I feel like switching inside might have made sense at some point, or even just going for a delayed kickoff at some point to try and counter Mawkzy's wave dash. Daniel has stuck to standard. Hasn't served him well in this instance. Will his aerial control. Immaculate pre-flip. And the mind game lands. Well, Daniel has done the impossible here. Not the best takeoff, but he pre-flips back underneath the ball. Goes for the flip reset. And connect or not, it doesn't really matter there. Mawkzy's in a shambles trying to figure out what's happening. 7 seconds in it. Daniel would be wise to switch his kickoff strategy, but he doesn't. He stays on the same side. Mawkzy beats him again. And now it is his series to lose, and he does win it. Daniel refuses to switch up kickoff strats late in game 4, and it gets him in a world of trouble there. You just kept on trying to push the ball through Mawkzy on the outside, but Mawkzy showed us so many times this game that's his strong side. I really feel Daniel should have been going for a more goal side approach at the end of this game. Maybe just change up his timing. Something has to change there, really, if Daniel's going to have a kickoff possession to play with. But he didn't, and unfortunately he's only got himself to blame for that. 4-0, Mawkzy, so impressive today. He tops the group, undefeated so far. We'll refresh the bracket here, get a updated look at the standings. Look at Mawkzy go. He's on a fast track to being our grand final representative straight away here.